The Ukraine war started with a clarion call from Russian President Vladimir Putin by formally recognizing the Luhansk region as an independent territory. Finally, 4 months later, Putin officially declared victory over Ukraine in a hard-fought war in the Luhansk region in eastern Ukraine. Russia annexing Ukraine territory is nothing new, but Lysychansk in Luhansk region had a different storyline that calls attention. Hello and welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Vedika, and if you still haven't subscribed to the TFI Global channel yet, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates. Ukraine has been relying heavily on the narrative war rather than facing the Russian might in the field. Ukrainian president was affected by a pro-West syndrome and went ahead with every move Washington suggested without gauging the repercussions that their neighbor could have upon them. Viewing everything through the myopic lens has bruised Ukraine badly, with the latest drubbing being Russia taking full control over the Luhansk region after Ukrainian withdrawal from the bombed-out city of Lysychansk. Luhansk region made a slip away from Ukraine's hands of power back in 2014. Russia has been actively sowing seeds of power in the region by supplying aid, vaccines, and other materials that help the region by large. Most of the people of Luhansk thus harbor a softer stance on Russia and devote their allegiance to Russia than to Ukraine. The Russian aids and help are not a red herring meant to lure the populace of Luhansk to Moscow's side, but a rigid cultural history of the erstwhile Soviet regime makes it difficult for the people of Luhansk to align with the Ukraine. After the fall of Severodonetsk, Zelensky hurled out some big talks that Lysychansk would never be given away to a belligerent Russian hand. But the fierce parley from the Ukrainian president had a short lifespan of just 2 weeks. Russia now has total control of the industrial city of Lysychansk, overlooking the Seversky Donets River. Russian soldiers posed for pictures outside Lysychansk City Hall, chanting, "Lysychansk is ours," and waving the flag of the Luhansk People's Republic, the Ukrainian separatist state that Putin vowed to protect when Ukrainian forces invaded Luhansk. Yes, it was the Ukrainian separatists that held their fortress from the offensives of the Ukrainian army. Western military elites were ambiguous about Russia's victory in the Kiev-held bastion of Luhansk. But it never ran through these analysts' minds that the real threat was from the Ukrainians themselves. Huge paper cuttings and op-eds may picture the separatists as Russians, but it never takes away the fact that the same people Zelensky considers Ukrainians fought their hearts out to defend their sovereignty from the Ukraine state led by Volodymyr Zelensky. Andrei Marochko, a spokesperson for the Ukrainian separatists, told TASS, "Today the Luhansk Popular Militia and Russian forces occupy the last strategic heights, which allows us to confirm that Lysychansk is completely encircled." Meanwhile, Ukraine's foreign ministry went full trade on France's AFP news agency and accused them of falling for the Russian bait by calling forces of the Luhansk People's Republic Ukrainian separatists rather than Russia's invading army. Despite the foreign ministry's indignation, it is quite a known fact that LPR troops have been in conflict with Ukrainian forces off and on since 2014. 8 years before Russia recognized the republic's independence and sent its troops into Ukraine. After the retreat by Ukrainian troops from the Lysychansk region, many homes were flying Luhansk People's Militia's red hammer and sickle flag, making the return of joy after a month-long battle with Ukrainian forces. But Zelensky is not robbed completely of the optimism that he proudly displays. In his video address to the nation, President Volodymyr Zelensky on Sunday night said, "Thanks to our tactics, thanks to the increased supply of modern weapons, Ukrainian forces will return to Lysychansk."